Howdy folks, welcome back to Black Sheep Meadow. I'm Brent.
And I'm Amber.
And we got a good one for you today.
Got a great one for you today.
So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're getting into really the beginning of our harvest season for all of our garden vegetables that we're growing. To get y'all up to date on that, if you're new to our channel, Amber and I are attempting to grow 80% of all of our own food this year. We've got some excellent videos this far on planting, irrigation, some chickens.
Everything that we're kind of doing, we're documenting it and taking you guys along through the successes
and failures along the way.
And some of the things that have happened and things that you have to prepare for.
Yeah. And today we're going to get into some harvesting. I think we got some green beans to harvest, maybe some potatoes. Actually, our potatoes, we might do another video for next week. I don't know yet. We've had quite a bit of rain. I think probably a little over 4.5 inches over the past week.
Yes.
So everything's very soggy and muddy out there. So I might wait till next week and do a full video on potatoes.
Yes, because there's a lot going on with the potatoes, and if y'all followed along through the potatoes, it would be interesting to see a little bit more detail on that. But we've got green beans, probably some cucumbers, and some squash.
But every week we attempt to bring a solid video to y'all at least once a week. A lot of videos we do twice a week. But we try and bring information that is solid, meaningful, like, to make your homestead more successful, just really solid quality content. And
we try to bring you honest information.
Yes, and over the past, I'm going to say month and a half or so, there's been some stuff that obviously we research all the time. We watch YouTube ourselves. But we've noticed that there is some, and I don't want to call it a scam, but there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Well, it just seems like there's a lot of places that are trying to misguide, and they're doing things for views and clicks and that type things, and it's really just, it's kind of disheartening because it feels very
counterproductive for what we're doing.
Counterproductive for, yes. But it feels kind of scammy. Scammy is a good word for it.
And we've seen obviously I think the initial video that started all of this, down to some people other homestead channels that have picked up on it and I think they're attempting it. I don't think that they're actually trying to scam people, but I think they honestly believe some of these methods will work. And what we're referring to...
There's several things like that out there, but the one that's been really popular over the past month or so is called...
electroculture.
Electroculture. And
obviously, if you get into homesteading and gardening, there's several different terms that you may not quite understand out there, from permaculture to hugiculture to...
And we use those words quite often.
And electroculture's popped up, and it's really what I've seen people attempting is they drive a wooden stake into the ground, and they take a bare copper wire, they shove it 3 to 4 inches in the ground, and then twist the wire up the wooden stake, leaving 6 to 8 inches worth of wire off the top of the wooden stake.
And that varies. Some of it you have to have double helixes. Some of them there are all these things.
I've seen a lot of contradicting things that none of it really makes sense. But what they're saying is this copper wire is pulling, and I'm going to quote, gamma rays out of the atmosphere or from the Earth's soil, and it's demagnetizing or magnetizing the soil. And these people are claiming 6 to 8 times the amount of harvest annually. With
no pesticides, no fertilizers, no treatment at all. And it's just really disheartening to see.
Yeah.
Now, by any means, if you want to put a copper decoration in your garden...
And have it look pretty.
And have it look neat. And you want to try it. But I really feel like they're pushing people in this direction.
And they're making people think that this is actually real and that they're going to get 6 times the harvest and they're not going to have any pests and they don't have to use fertilizers, when realistically... I would think a majority of us know that that's just not true.
It's not, and I don't want, it just seems very disheartening because we're wanting everybody to succeed.
Yeah.
And when you see things like this, it sets people up for failure. And that's disheartening when you keep failing. And I know we've said that, don't be afraid to fail. But when people are putting information out there that just sets you up for
intentionally
failure,
setting them up for failure.
It's very disheartening to see. So from us, we don't want to be
That's not what our channel's about.
And we just want to caution you into when you see things out that sound too good to be true.
Yeah,
that a lot of times they are.
So do your research. Don't even take our word for it. Don't. Go out there and do some research for yourself, and just before you try something, really find something that's got solid roots to reality.
And even if you wanted to try it, by all means, try it, but just don't put your whole garden at stake for it.
Yeah.
Gardens, it's all about being self-sustaining and growing stuff on your own homestead and growing your own vegetables and fruits. but this isn't necessarily the cheap alternative.
Yeah.
So you're investing a lot of time and a lot of funds into this, and I would hate for somebody to think that, oh, because I spent $20 on a piece of wood and some copper, that now it's going to produce all of this and you're not going to get it, and you're going to,
at the end of the day,
and you're going to fail drastically. So just don't bank your whole garden on it.
In the meantime, we're going to take you all along today, and we're going to do some harvesting out of our own garden.
Our trellis. So if you followed along with the trellis, I'm going to try to link the trellis video here. The trellis looks beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
the green beans have completely covered the entire archway.
Yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. It's squishy right now because, like he said, we've gotten over 4 inches of rain, so it's a little squishy, but it looks beautiful. So if anything, I think next year we're going to do 2 trellises just because this really...
We might do a single trellis for squash, and we might do a single trellis for green beans.
Yes.
I don't know how that would work. We may even do half and half, because I've noticed one half the trellis that gets the light during the morning hours
versus afternoon
is definitely doing different. I'm not going to say better or worse, but it's doing different than the half the garden trellis that got the sunlight in the afternoon.
Right. So we might set them up 2 of them, and then that way we can kind of set up things half and half versus, you know, morning sun, afternoon sun. But the trellis is definitely the way to go. This thing is rocking and rolling. The tomatoes underneath it look beautiful.
Correct. Let's get them in there. Let's get some harvest. Follow along.
So we are in the front or the entrance of the trellis, and as you can see behind me, it's doing wonderful. We've already harvested a little over, probably over 8 pounds, I think. Right, Brent? 8 pounds?
A little over 8 pounds already, yes.
8 pounds of green beans off of here, so we're going to harvest some more. But look through the middle of this. This is just absolutely amazing. Let's see if I can just take y'all through here.
And the amount of blooms that are in there, I mean, we're going to have another 25 to 30 pounds of green beans off this.
Hopefully y'all could hear him. There's probably a good... You can see all of these blooms. I just saw one of the honeybees in here and a bumblebee. But check out, there he is down there. Let's see if I can get down here with him.
It's important too to harvest both sides.
Yes.
All sides of the trellis, inside and out.
You have to walk through the inside and the outside. Check him out. He is pollinating away for us. Oop, there he goes. So I'm going to get y'all set up here. We'll take you through while we're harvesting, but it is, like he said, it is important to know you have to harvest from the inside, and then you also have to walk around the outside and harvest from there. Can you see him there? Look at how thick that is. Look at these green beans right here. Hopefully you can see those.
So as you can get in here, on the inside of the trellis, on the inside of the arch, it's actually quite easy because the green beans will dangle down. On the outside, you actually got to really watch because the plants are actually growing on either side of the cattle panels that we made for the trellis. But on the outside, you actually got to come and pick up some leaves here. I don't know if you're catching this. Like, look at this. As soon as we pick this up, look at the amount of green beans in here. And then I'm cutting my green beans just shy of the joint where the stem meets the green bean, because that makes me one less cut on the inside whenever I trim them and put them in the jars.
Look at them all right there.
Look at these right here. These are some overgrowns that I missed last week.
So I'm down at the opposite end of the green beans, and I just wanted to show y'all real quick. I know we're not harvesting any of these today, which is what we were taking you along, but here's where our squash is on the trellis. This is our first year doing squash on the trellis, and they're doing wonderful. Look at this guy right here. And they're just doing their thing. They're really growing. So he's starting down at the other end, and I'm starting down on this end. Just to work towards each other. One thing that we'll have to keep in mind with all this rain, the fire ants are going to get bad. We usually use diatomaceous earth for fire ants, or ants in general.
Variety of pests.
Variety of, yes, he's right. I don't know if you could hear him back there, but yeah, we treat a lot of things with diatomaceous earth. The problem with diatomaceous earth is as soon as it rains, it's gone. It's not effective anymore. So either have to plan it out where we know we're not going to have rain for a couple of days, or we'll have to just treat multiple times. You know, treat, then as soon as it rains, treats again. But look at how many green beans I'm getting. And this trellis, harvesting off of this trellis is really saving for your back. As far as a lot of what you're doing is overhead.
Or eye level.
Or eye level, yes. For me, it's not a lot to bend down too much to get them. But I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse while we get this done.
Alrighty, so we dodged a few little rainstorms there, but I think we managed to get, we weighed this all out, is what, right at 8 pounds?
Just over. 8 pounds, 5.4 ounces
of green beans. So
not a bad afternoon picking.
This is some green beans that we harvested earlier this week. Amber's already got them through the pressure canner and processed, ready for storage over the next year.
Yep, earlier this week we just went through there. He went through there real quick one evening and got 4 pounds of green beans. I canned them. 4 pounds of green beans ended up in 10 pint jars canned. So I think they came out really well.
I think this is going to make pretty close to around 18 pounds of green beans already that we've gotten this year.
Should be, yes, because we've eaten a couple fresh.
And then I wanted to show y'all, I personally prefer a green bean about this size. This size would be probably ideal for most people. The green beans that are this size are well overgrown. I should have got this green bean probably cut off yesterday. But this size right here is what we're putting in our jars, our can. The canning process will actually tenderize them.
Well, you can see, so they get mixed, but I try to, for us, what we're going to eat fresh, I pick through and pick out the smaller ones and definitely put the larger ones to the canning pile. So I'll probably can these tonight too. So I'll set aside a pound or so for us to have fresh tomorrow or the next day.
We'll can the rest for later this summer, the fall, or for a soup or stew next winter.
Yes.
So something else we'd like to take note with, we have roughly, what we say, 60 foot of garden trellis out there, 40 foot of which is for green beans. For the we've got pole beans trellised across it. All the beans that are on the trellis are a Blue Lake pole bean, and we have some sugar snap peas at the very end. I think there's several videos where we talked about the sugar snap peas at the end, so y'all go back and check that out. That being said, where the sugar snap peas are right next to the green beans on the trellis, you can see the green beans have cross-pollinated. Let me get y'all in real close. You can see that's a Blue Lake green bean that is crosspollinated with a Sugar Daddy snap pea. We ate some of these the other day.
We ate them raw. They tasted good, so it's kind of a happy accident.
Yeah. So we may continue this in the future. I don't know. I guess you're gonna cook some up tonight. Yeah, see how they are.
We'll cook them and see how they taste cooked. They might just be fresh beans like the snap peas that we eat. But it was a happy accident. Maybe we'll do it year after year now. Yep. Or if we don't like it, we'll have to do something to not.
Probably right before the end of the video, I'm gonna try and get y'all in one more little tidbit. I think in the meantime.
Yeah, I think we'll walk through. I'll do a little. Stay tuned. We'll do a little slow-mo, or I'll do a little time lapse walking through our tomatoes. You saw them out of the trellis, but I'll take you through my little secret garden, favorite part of the garden, so you can see how good the tomatoes are looking.
In the meantime, guys, if y'all like what we're doing, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if y'all have any questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them.
Oh yeah, please.
If you can, share our content on any social media platform that you have.
And touch back on what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Yep. Do your own research.
Yes.
Don't fall for gimmicky stuff.
We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
All right, so back here behind us we have this is our Cherokee field corn, and we're gonna turn this into some chicken food later on. I just want everybody to take note that I did not use any type of electroculture method on this. I fertilized it with good old-fashioned chicken poop.
Here we are are in my little favorite part of the garden, and you guys can see how well these tomatoes are doing. Look at all of these tomatoes. This is a San Marzano. Look at these. They're looking wonderful. This is the sun sugar. Look at how tall and how many blooms are on there. These are the ones I have to keep Brent out of because look, he hasn't seen these yet. Oh, there's some that are ripe. Look, 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 look. He hasn't seen those yet. That's the Chelsea Sweets back there that are growing. And then check out, I don't even know if I can get far enough back for you guys to see. We've got some blooms and some eggplants that are coming in and looking wonderful. Some more. These are some Better Bush. This is some Champions. There's quite a few on there. Get those in there. Then we've got peppers, Anaheims, Tabascos, some bells. I'm really liking these. I like, oh, we need to get in here and treat. You guys see that? Oh no, that's not bad. It was just some dirt on there, so it's doing good. Look at them all. All of them all in here, all the blooms. And then remember, this is 2 rows, so there's another row of tomatoes on the other side over here. So we're going to be loaded up with tomatoes here very shortly. Look at how cute the little bell pepper's doing. All right, guys, we'll see you later.